Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Kenroy here. Now, it's been a little minute since we've been doing some DIY projects. The last major DIY project that Sophia and I undertook was actually on our ground floor renovation. Now, if you haven't seen these videos guys, please go right ahead and check those out. I'll put a little link to the description in the cards above. So go and check out those videos where we were able to turn our 1870s cottage ground floor and take it from being old and dated and just needing some modernization and bring it into the 21st century. Now if you're new to the channel guys, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. We really do appreciate all your support. And hopefully guys, you can be inspired along your journey, whether it's through renovating your property or finding helpful tips on how to save money. Hopefully our channel will be able to provide you with some of those solutions. So it's been a couple of months since we've had our kitchen renovation done and our living room, and we're still absolutely loving it. Everything is working according to how it should. Well, touch wood anyway. And we're hoping that things will continue to work exactly how we had designed it. The cupboards are great, the flooring's fantastic, the new door just behind me is doing well also. And yeah, there's nothing to complain about. Now, even though the renovation project was complete, of course we were doing this all on a budget, and this basically means that there were a few things that needed to be fixed, and we didn't have the money to stretch that far, so we decided to just put that on the shelf, table it for just a little while until I managed to find a solution or find time to actually solve the problem. Now this particular issue was not a major one, it's more of an aesthetic thing where we've actually got some cabling coming in from the outside through the wall and it didn't look particularly nice. So we decided that we need to find some way to sort of hide it in order to make it look more aesthetically pleasing in the kitchen. Now we also wanted to add some shelves just to the wall behind me, not too many shelves, just enough to store a few things on and you know, to add a bit of different dimension to the wall just behind me. So I've come up with a great solution where we wouldn't have to spend tons of cash. In fact, I wouldn't have to spend any money at all because I'll be using materials and things that I already had around the house that we've either bought before or you know, just had surplus from previous job. Now I absolutely love doing DIY project, and you'll be surprised with how small DIY projects such as attaching a shelf to the wall can cost you loads of money. And so it's a good idea to upskill yourself to be able to do it, you know, without calling in a professional to put a few shelves on the wall. Now approximately 2 years ago I think, I bought a couple of shelves from a second-hand charity shop, and these were some Ikea floating shelves. Now I'll put a picture up of what they actually look like. I think they cost around £20 each in the shop. Now while searching through this local charity shop, which I often go to, you know, to find little bits and pieces of furniture and so on, I spotted these two shelves. Now to my surprise, they were selling them for not £5 per item, but £5 for both of these floating shelves. And I thought to myself, it's a bargain. I'm sure I'll be able to use them at some point. At the very least, I'll be able to gift them to somebody if they, you know, if they're looking for some shelves. And so I picked both of them up, had them stored away in the garage for ages. Now I think the time is now right for me to use at least one of them to put onto this wall, and hopefully I'll be able to use a bit of creativity to mask that ugly hole that is in the wall, which, like I said, I'm not sure what's the best solution to solve it. I don't want to cut the wire that's coming in. At the same time, I don't want to call an electrician to come in and figure it out. So at least a temporary fix would be just to hide it. And so that is the plan in today's video. Okay, so this is the shelf that I got in the charity shop a couple of years ago, and it's I think it's called a lac. Well, that's what's written on here anyway, from Ikea. And it's just it looks quite solid, but in actual fact it has these holes in these recesses. And what you basically need to do, hence the term floating shelf, you have to attach this bracket here to the wall. So you put screws in here all along the back plate. And once you've attached it firmly to the wall, then you simply slide, I don't know if I can do this on camera, you simply slide the male into the female section, quite technical there, and then once you do that, it will then just sit hanging off the wall, and it will give you the illusion that there are no brackets, but obviously the brackets have been inserted inside already. So that is the plan. We've got enough cupboard space in the kitchen now since the renovation, so it's more or less just to put something, you know, on this wall because it's looking a bit bare at the moment, and also to try and hide that ugly hole up there on the wall. So yeah, this is just my DIY cheap solution for getting the job done. Okay, so I've literally just put one screw in there just to hold the bracket on the wall so that I can fiddle around with it to make sure that it's where I want it to be. If it's in the wrong place or if it needs adjusting, then at least I can remove that screw, punch another hole somewhere else and move it over a little bit. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to put the shelf on the bracket and see how it all fits together. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Now all I need to do is get the rest of these holes punched and attach some screws, and then the job will basically be done. Whew, so I'm actually working up a sweat. So I've drilled all the holes, I've put the wall plugs in, and all that is left for me to do now is just to screw the bracket to the wall. Now once the bracket's screwed to the wall and it's fastened and, you know, got all of its strength that it needs to hold the shelf, I'll then simply slide the Ikea Clacks shelf onto the wall, onto the bracket, and then once that's on the bracket, there's two little holes at the top where you put some little screws through. I need to find some screws to fit that, and once that's screwed in, then you won't be able to slide off or have any accidents falling off the wall because it'll be strong enough with all the holes that I've drilled there. Honestly, it feels a bit overkill, but it's better safe than sorry. And then that will be that. But stick around guys, because I'm actually planning on doing something a bit different with this shelf. Now of course we recently had some renovation done to our kitchen. We've got this lovely blue colour which we basically got on the cupboards and so on. So rather than leaving the shelf, you know, to stand out in the brown that it's in, I'm thinking of actually painting it to match the colour scheme of the kitchen. So do stick around for that at the end guys, so you can see what it actually looks like. Okay, so after a bit of light sanding and a few hours later with 2 coats of paint, the shelf is finally ready for me to reattach it to the brackets on the wall. Now of course when I started this project, this shelf was a light brown Ikea floating shelf, but now as you can see I've transformed it as if by magic to better match the cupboard. So I've given this shelf a bit of tidy up, a bit of upcycling, and I've turned a £2.50 shelf into something that looks like it's worth well over 20 quid. So it's looking good so far. So just going to put this on the wall now and my DIY upcycle shelf project will be completed. Okay, so there you go guys, I've just actually attached the shelf to the wall and it's looking really nice. I'm so glad I actually painted this. I was in two minds because, to be honest, sometimes when you're doing these projects you just feel like you can't be bothered. But I'm glad not only did I use up some of that paint that I had left over, but but I think it looks really good. The rich contrast from that dark blue versus sort of that light subtle greenish blue on the wall is really nice. And of course it matches in with the cupboards just behind me here. So I really can't complain with how it looks. And it's very sturdy, which I'm really happy about. I haven't actually attached it into the bracket with the screws from above just yet, but you know, feeling it, it's not going anywhere. It's absolutely incredible just how well it's tucked to the wall. Now, like I said before, one of the main reasons for doing this is because you've got that really ugly hole up in the wall, which some cables are actually coming through. But in the meantime, I've got a little cheeky solution on how I'm going to hide that, so it's not as much of an eyesore. Now that's all it is really, it's just an aesthetic thing, which it doesn't look as nice. So what I'm planning on doing is getting this bad boy, which I've been growing for some time now. Shout out to my aunt who lives in London, Auntie Sharon. The plant's doing well. I haven't killed it yet, so that's a good thing. Sophia and I are trying our best to have more plants in the house. So I'm hoping to use this bad boy here to put on top of that shelf, and that way it will hide away that ugly hole in the wall. So fingers crossed it will look nice. And these plants are pretty hardy, they don't need watering as much, so I think it'll be a good solution for now. Wow, so there you go guys. Absolutely love this plant. It's so funky, so different. Almost looks like something that you find at the bottom of the ocean. I don't even know what this plant is called, but it looks really good. Let me know what you think guys. Do you think it's a clever idea, or if it's downright just crazy? Trying to use this plant to hide that ugly hole in the wall. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Perhaps you've done something like this before, where you've used plants to hide or to mask something in your house that you're not too keen on. Okay, let me get out the way and show you guys what it looks like. And voila, just like that, all done and dusted, as I always say. The plants are looking really nice on the shelves now. I've just thrown a few up there. All of these plants just behind me here have been salvaged, have been grown from little cuttings. Some of them were just gifts from friends, and so far they've been growing really well. My plant skills are improving week by week. I'll just show you up close what they look like. Now, if anybody knows me, they know I absolutely love the great outdoors. I love plants, I love you know, growing things. In fact, I'm currently growing quite a few veggies outside right now, and so I thought, why not grow more plants and have them indoors? Because not only is it good for your mental health and well-being, it beautifies your home, adds another dimension, and you know, it cleans the air. I mean, there's just so many things. Don't let me tell you all about it, it's all online. I was toying with the idea of adding another shelf just below it, maybe something slightly different, but for now I think I'll just pause there, as I'm really happy with how this is looking, and the color guys, yeah. Anyway, that's it for today guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, this is Kenroy. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to this channel guys. We really do appreciate your support and your comments as well. We love hearing from you, so whether it's just to say hi, or I like the color, or whatever you want to say, post it in the comments down below. We know that you guys are watching, so it's nice to hear from you. This is Kenroy saying, I'll see you when you see me. Take care.